NFT show. We've had great interviews, great episodes in the past. You heard from the teams behind Pixel Vault, Art Blocks, Robotos, The Doge Pound, Oniforce, Crypto Dads, Lazy Lions, Supduck, Wall Street Bulls, Sappy Seals, and more. We also did an NFT giveaway. We've got more NFT giveaways coming, so stay tuned for that. Today, we talked to one of the founders of Spoiled Banana Society. Let's get it started. This is the roadmap. All right, guys, as you heard me say, Benzinga's new NFT show, The Roadmap. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. We are back on this platform where you will be able to see your comments scroll on the screen. So keep those comments coming, guys. Interact with us throughout the episode. And without further ado, let me bring on the co-host of The Roadmap, Maz. Maz, what's going on, buddy?
Yo, what's going on, Chris? How you feeling today, man?
Feeling good, feeling good. Another great interview today. We're going to hear about an upcoming project, which is a little bit of a change of pace, right? Usually we're doing these interviews after the mints happen, so excited to see that. And I mean, Maz, interview yesterday with Sappy Seals. That was a fun one. We got some alpha from the team, right? They had, an event happening today. They've got roadmap events happening in the future. And, I love the rarity-based staking that they talked about, right? That's something we haven't really seen in the space. So a lot of fun with yesterday's interview. What did you think of Sappy Seals?
Yeah, no, they're a great team. And again, it was awesome to see, everything going on behind the scenes and how it's just not a, profile picture. You're not just buying a profile picture when you're buying this NFT, right? You're buying a lot of things that they're building behind the scenes. And I love that they're trying to provide utility. And I do like that they're collabing with other NFT projects and they're trying to bring communities together, not just like me versus you type of thing. I'm excited for their launch today. So yeah, if you guys are watching this, make sure to check them out on Twitter. I think their shop goes live sometime today. I don't remember the exact time, but great team.
I can't remember the time, but I know, it was today, December 1st. Nice call out there, Maz. Let me try to find their Twitter and drop that in the chat for anyone. And go ahead, Maz. Sorry, I cut you off there.
No, you're just great team. And I look forward to having them back on, in the future. And by the way,
later this evening, I don't know what time that means, but later this evening.
Yeah, just keep your eyes out then. So I'm sure it'll be sometime in the next couple hours.
Definitely. All right, Maz. Well, while we're waiting here, it looks like we're ready to go with today's interview. We're going to be talking about Spoiled Banana Society, and this is a project that was launched by several Bored Ape Yacht Club owners, right? And that's something we've seen in the space, Maz, right? Where people, they get involved in the NFT space, they form these great communities, these partnerships, and then they launch new projects. So excited to hear more about this and also connecting fantasy sports to NFTs. So we are going to be talking to Richard. He's the founder of Spoiled Banana Society. He's also a Grammy-nominated multi-instrumental and producer who's collaborated with some big artists. So without further ado, let's bring Richard onto the stream. Richard, welcome to The Roadmap.
What's up, Richard?
Yo, what's up, guys? Thanks for having me. What's up, Chris? What's up, Matt? Sorry if it's a bit loud. I'm at an NFT convention right now, but super stoked to be here. Super stoked to share about my project. Thanks for having me.
Definitely. Well, guys, you just heard it. Richard coming live from Florida, right? Art Basel NFT convention and joining us live on the roadmap. I mean, NFTs never sleep. That's something we see, right? So we've got NFT convention and a live Benzinga show happening at the same time. So shout out to Richard for joining us. Richard, before we get into Spoiled Banana Society, just wondering if you can share, your experience and history in the NFT space. What were some of the first NFTs that you owned, and how did you get involved in crypto and NFTs prior to this new launch?
Yeah, 100%. You know, the big thing for me, and shout out all the apes in the chat. I see them commenting. You know, the NFTs changed my life. The ape family supported me and completely changed my freaking life. That was the first NFT I got into about like a week after it minted. And before that, you know, I got to produce for Jay and Smith. I got to tour the world. I got to do a lot of cool things as a musician, play Red Rocks, but none of that really like helped me make a living or be able to well, it helped me make a living, but none of it really like was able to give me the opportunity to make a living. And NFTs, I got to drop my NFT album like 4 months ago. Completely changed my life. You know, let me be able to do music full time. Let me be able to create awesome communities like Spoiled Banana Society and do awesome projects and things that I'd rather be doing than like Uber Eats. Like I had to work Uber Eats before, you know, to help pay my bills and shit. So NFTs definitely play a big role for me in everything I do.
Love it. So moving from Uber Eats to the world of NFTs full time. For anyone out there listening or watching, you know, keep at it, right? NFTs, we're still early, you know, and it's an exciting time. Richard, you mentioned Bored Ape Yacht Club, right? And that's a project obviously a lot of people have heard about. We've talked about it a lot on the show. You mentioned that was one of the first projects you minted. I'm curious to know, you know, how did you hear about that? Was that something you heard about, you know, online from friends? And how early were you in the project? Was this, you know, shortly after the mint, or, you know, a couple weeks or months later on?
Yeah, 100%. Bored Apes. Me and my brother got 3 a week after the mint. So we first got in because we were very interested into the NFT space. Kind of, you know, what is this? What is all the utility? What's going on here, really? Kind of got them to just dive in and go head first. And then once we got them, you know, I think the people that like the really gold part about the whole thing that happened was like, you know, not selling when it got to 10K or 20K or 50K for all the people, you know, kept with it because they really believed that what it would do and what it is, like just kind of being in the community and meeting everyone and all the utility that they've given us. You know, it's definitely showed us what you can do with NFTs and just how much it's impacted our lives. You know, it's been an amazing experience and just so grateful that we were able to get into it.
Perfect. So now let's dive into Spoiled Banana Society. So you teamed up with other Bored Ape Yacht Club owners to launch this project. So we'll get into the specifics of, you know, connecting fantasy sports here in a minute, but just give us the basis on, you know, what was the idea to launch this project and how did all of you team up and connect?
Yeah, 100%. It's a really good question. I loved what you guys were saying right before with, you know, it's not that other project you guys had on yesterday wasn't just another PFP project and there was more to it. You know, I think that's what we really wanted to, you know, that's what we really love about our project. That the first thing that it is utility, you know. But what really it is it's very inspired by BAYC in the sense of community. You know, it is sports and it is fantasy football to start, but we really want to have an emphasis that it's all inclusive, that people that don't know how to play sports can come in, that we're really focusing on the community aspect, you know, doing all the cool things that you can do with NFTs, and then the prizes kind of being the cherry on top. So yeah, we partnered with a bunch of apes, and it really just started as us. Like we made ape leagues for the apes to kind of have fun and play fantasy football together. And then we were all like, how do we NFT it? How do we blockchain it? And 11 of us were like, let's do this. And then it kind of unfolded into this.
Love that, Richard. So yeah, speaking of, you know, utility, your football card doubles as a membership with benefits. Can you tell us a little bit more how fantasy sports will be connected to this membership?
Yep, 100%. So like about 80% of, not about, actually 80% of the mint is literally going back into the prize pool. I think like 5 to 10% is going to help make like the basketball league. Because right after football, we're going to basketball, we're going to soccer, we're doing more sports. But you know, most of the percent is going back into the prize pool. So the actual NFT that you get is as a card with players from NFL teams, and every week and every season, depending on how they do, you know, if you have a good card, and sometimes even if you have a bad card, you literally win ETH. So we're just literally playing fantasy football, but with NFTs, and it's dynasty. Like because they're NFTs and we're able to take residuals from the secondary, we're able to have the league go on, you know, year after year after year with prizes without having people buy in again because the cards are trading.
Love that, man. Can you tell us a little bit about the Hall of Fame cards?
Yeah, of course. Thank you. We wanted to provide some rarity because we know the NFT space, loves rarity. So 100 of the cards are going to be gold or Hall of Fame cards. So the way the prizes work is for the regular 10,000 cards is you get every week, if it sells out, every week top 100 places get paid, and every season top 100, middle 100, and last 100. With the first place getting a Bored Ape or 100 each if it sells out. But the gold cards let you compete in all of that, but it also lets you compete in a league with just 100 gold cards, where the top 10 get paid every week, and the top 10 get paid for the season, with first place getting 20 ETH or a mutant.
That's awesome, man. And I know there's prizes involved, right? So there's a Bored Ape, $1 million in prizes, Super Bowl trip. So can you tell us how these prizes will work for NFT holders? Is it based on rarities, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, so I think this is, we're going into kind of like new territory here, because all of it, and it's not so new because, Top Shot did it too, but like,
Yeah,
this is a little even more subjective. But, there's no, like, rarity tools doesn't work for us. Our rarity is going to be our leaderboard, and every week, depending on who you like and depending on how the players are doing, the cards change, who's number one, who's last, especially years, with new players coming in, people retiring. So the prizes will be paid, every single, just how your players do every week and every year. But then like the 50% thing, I think, 50% thing we're giving people go to the Super Bowl. I think that we're probably gonna raffle that off. And then 75%, that's our roadmap. 75% solid. A Bored Ape is confirmed. And then 25% we're also giving to charity. We have like five charity organizations like NFLPA, mental health, LGBTQ, a bunch of things we're giving back, because that's important to us too. I know a lot of companies do that, but I think if we are going to do this, the one of the coolest thing would be if we're actually able to, like, one of them is like offset the costs of the drop. Like, if we're actually able to make it sustainable and make it that we actually did good for the world, how amazing that is. What the apes have been able to do so well with like the animal shelter thing with the dogs.
exactly.
Awesome, Richard. So I mentioned at the top of the show that a lot of the interviews we do are with teams that have already launched their projects and minted out. So here we get, to talk to you before this project goes live. So one of the questions, out there in NFTs, of course, is talk of whitelist, right? So my question for you, I've seen some giveaways, some posts on Twitter. Is there still the availability for anyone out there listening or watching to get on the whitelist for early access, and how would they go about doing that for this project?
Yeah, that's a really good question. Thank you. Well, we actually are announcing the official whitelist date and the official launch date tonight on our AMA on Twitter. So
Nice.
that to be coming. But yeah, you can still get on the whitelist. To get on the whitelist, all you need to do is either own one of the companies we've partnered with, which is RSOP, Knights of Degen, Omnimorphs, Crypto Dads, Gutter Cats, Players Only, Street Dogs. There's a bunch of ways. But then also like BAYC, MAYC. That's not an official sponsorship, but because a lot of us are from members from there, and a lot of the people playing are from that community, we definitely got to give the apes a whitelist. But just so everyone knows, that's not an official sponsorship with them. But besides that point, you can either do that, or if you don't have any of those NFTs, all you got to do is get to level 10 on our Discord, and you do that by just chatting and participating in the community. We do double XP during the NFL games too, so if you just chill there on Sunday, you'll probably hit level 10. And you get to know everyone, you get to hang out. It's really a dope community. All the people in there are just like love NFTs, love sports, love freaking. They're just really nice. A good amount of them, it's their first NFT. A good amount of them, it's their first time getting into football. It's a really cool mix of just everyone.
Perfect. Well, Richard, you just answered a couple of my next questions to talk about, who you had partnered with, because I saw that people who own some of these NFTs could get on the whitelist, and then of course that launch date, that everyone wants to know about. You said that'll be shared tonight on the Twitter Spaces. Is that correct?
Yep. It's going to be early December. But yeah. Yeah, it will be shared tonight. Sorry.
Awesome. And then go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say thank you for all the lovely the comments. You guys are freaking so nice and so kind. I appreciate all you guys. That's so sick.
We love our chat, and they're here to watch, and to hear about this project, Richard. And I know some of them are here because they know who you are. I gotta ask, since we're talking fantasy football, fantasy sports. I'm a big NFL fan. Unfortunately, my favorite team is the Detroit Lions because I am born and raised in Michigan. So they're who's on TV every week. So I got to ask you, Richard, who is your favorite NFL team and maybe some favorite players that you like watching?
Yeah, I mean, the other question you could have asked me is who's the best NFL team, and I think the answer to both those questions are, of course, the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think there's really and there's some close teams like Tom Brady. Tom Brady's pretty good, but I'm a big diehard Chiefs fan. I love Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey. Hill did have some things in the past. So as a player, I will say I need to clarify that. But I'm sorry, the Detroit thing. Yeah, DeAndre Swift's a beast. It's sad he got injured. But I think you guys got a good running. I don't know. Goff is there. I'm from LA, so I've seen him kind of play out his career. I don't know if he's it. It's gonna be interesting. You guys got a road to rebuild.
Yeah, it's been an interesting year. I mean, we're just hoping for that first win, right? We got that tie, right? So we're not going to lose every game. We got a tie out of the way. But it'd be nice to get a win. But yeah, that injury to Swift not looking great, especially for me, who definitely bet on Swift's rushing yards and receiving yards during that game, and then watched him get hurt. So, Richard, you mentioned fantasy sports. Do you play daily fantasy sports then, or fantasy leagues? What's your fantasy sports experience?
Yeah, I was literally gonna say it doesn't help me either for my fantasy teams. I am in 14 fantasy football leagues. Way too much. Last year I did like 9, and I learned my lesson, but somehow I did 14 this year. And it's just of dynasty and redraft. I also have to, the DFS. I don't do them not often anymore. I just stay away from sports betting, and in a sense, other than fantasy football. Fantasy football isn't different, like year long, and I think that's what's, at the end of the day, it's more of like a yearly dynasty aspect. It feels a little less gambly, as more like, kind of like community building. Like, I hope, if the cards go up 2x, let's just say, then at that point the prizes are just like all, because they're NFTs, like there's so much that can happen. It's exciting.
Love that. Richard, so I want to touch base a little bit.
And the prize, sorry. Yeah.
No, you're good.
Sorry, my internet might be laggy, but I was saying the prize are like the cherry on top of the 2x's. But yeah, sorry.
Okay, cool. So why is it important to give back to charities? We see that 3% of sales will be given to a couple charities, including mental health, NFL Players Foundation, environmental charities, and a couple other ones. Talk to us about that. Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, 100%. So I think the NFLPA, that one's a no-brainer with us being in football, this launch being in football, and, giving back to the players. I think, that's super important to us. Mental health is very important to me and my brother's dealt with that, his whole life. Sean, one of the other founders, has dealt with that his whole life. So I think, supporting that and to bring more awareness about that is super important. I think that's a very important issue. With LGBTQ, one of our members is gay, so that's important to us. I think, that animal rights, me and my brother are vegan. It's also important to us. And then the fifth one is the environment. I know the NFT community is split. I don't understand how it's split, to be honest, on this one. But to me, it's a no-brainer. If you have the funds to offset your drop, you do it. Like the environment, like where to do anything if the environment isn't here.
Yeah, agreed. So let's switch a little bit. So Discord, how's the Discord going? Are you active in the Discord? We've seen a lot of hacks happen with Discords, closer to launch dates. Are you guys doing anything to protect yourselves with that? Just break it down for us.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I'm very active in the Discord. All the founders, me and my brother and Mike are very active in the Discord. We have Nifty or Cam, who's also like a Discord manager. He's active in there. We're probably, well, I won't say that, but yes, we're very active. The community is very nice in there. It's very active. It's constantly going. And we've had maybe 1 or 2 bots come in, but we have measures. I think the NFT space is definitely learned on how to protect from that. And it's been a very organic growth too. Like it's kind of been word of mouth and through other awesome NFT projects. So it's been very natural and organic. It all growing.
Nice. So we see you're launching exclusive cards in the playoffs. Will this be a free mint, or is it going to be an airdrop, or how's that going to work?
Yeah, that is a really good question. I believe that will be an airdrop. Don't everyone murder me.
So it'll be an airdrop to people that are holding the first piece, correct?
Yeah, so the cool thing is also, that's a really good thing to touch on, is that, and then if it doesn't sell out, then I think the cards are just going to continue going on to the playoffs, and we'll literally have prizes in the playoffs. But if your card has more players than another card, that's just what happened. And then also the cool thing is that if you're into basketball or soccer, the real football, some people may say, or baseball, we're also if you own this football card, you're going to be the first one to be able to get the other ones. And so if this is a successful launch, that's a pretty valuable thing, I would say.
Love that. And that's a great point you just made. I was going to lead on to my next question is, we see on the roadmap, you have other sports planned. What's next? We know the NFL is huge. What would be the next sport you guys would do, after the launch of this project?
Yeah, I think we're doing basketball next.
Basketball?
Just a lot of us are in America and we have a huge, basketball audience. We also partner with Players Only, which is run by Michael Carter-Williams and Jeremy Grant. So that would be dope. I know they're also announcing football players and baseball players, but definitely basketball seems like a really big thing in NFTs. Rumble Kongs too, but I think also soccer, football might be the biggest one because it's so global.
Awesome. Richard, a question along the same lines of the fantasy football. So if this project, for some reason doesn't mint completely out, would there be the potential then for some of those NFTs that haven't minted to have rewards attached to them from previous weeks of football competitions?
Yeah, so we've made it super sustainable in the sense of if you mint a card past week 1 of launch, that card still plays for the season long, and you just get defaulted the lineup for the previous weeks. And the default lineup is just the top to bottom on your actual card. So if you get 2 quarterbacks, it's just going to default you top quarterback for all the previous weeks. And that way you'll still be able to compete in the season long. Of course, probably you won't be able to compete for the top 100 because you weren't starting your players, but we're paying out the middle 100 and the last 100, with last place getting 10 ETH and the middle place getting 10 ETH if it all sells out. So that, you'll still be competing for that. And then the weekly prizes.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean,
and then also the prizes. Sorry, I was just going to say,
go ahead.
Just get added, right? The prizes just get added as they mint. So, if it sells 50%, then first place is 50 ETH. And then if it sells the 50% next year, we'll choose that for the prize pool next year. So it's definitely all done sustainable. We're not promising anything that we can't, deliver on.
Awesome. Moving away from this project for a minute, you mentioned that you're in Art Basel, Miami right now, this big NFT event. Can you just share, what your experience has been like so far? How many people are there? Is it crazy? How has the nightlife been? Are you connecting with new communities and new people? Let us live vicariously through you right now at this event.
100%. I'm actually at Decentral because Art Basel I think starts tomorrow, which is still a huge convention, which is all NFT, crypto, metaverse. We have an SBS booth actually here, which is super dope. Shout out Michael from Central, and I played a show here, which was awesome. But I'm excited to go to Art Basel, but it's been amazing, man. It's also really cool because just seeing people come up and being like, hey, I saw you guys on Twitter. Hey, I saw you guys on Discord. Whoa, can you explain more? Or yo, I'm in your Discord, but can you, explain more about the league? And just getting to be there in person and connecting with everyone. And we have a booth across CyberCon, so they're awesome. Just getting to talk to them. Definitely a lot of NFT communities, a lot of stuff happening here. Nightlife, I haven't got to live yet. I will keep you updated on that. I'm pretty excited to. I just flew in a couple of days ago, but I'm excited to see what that's like. I did secure some. Well, it's illegal here, but I did secure some, so we're good. We're gonna have a fun week. I don't know how it's illegal here. It makes no sense. Florida seems like the most I don't care place ever.
Yeah, isn't it crazy which states are legal and which ones aren't? But that's a topic for a whole nother day. Richard, obviously we talked about Bored Ape at the start, as one of your first NFTs. Are there any other NFT communities that you're, really active in, that you own some, that you'd like to, shout out now? Of course, not financial advice, but maybe just shout out some of these other projects.
Yeah, of course. I would say Crypto Dads is a huge one for me. Jay Crypto and all the people there just show like a very, very dope community. One of the best actual communities in the space. Total BAYC vibes. I think that project is like insanely undervalued. But big shout out to Crypto Dads. Huge supporter of us. We freaking love the dads. I think RSOP, I think Knights of Degen, I think Gutter Cats, I think all those communities are really dope. Have really kind people. Omnimorphs is another one. I did their theme song. Really awesome community. I hope nobody's mad at me if I leave anyone out. You know who you are. There's so many good ones. Players Only is a dope one that's actually like by players, which is amazing. I think, if I like, I don't know, from what I've just learned in the 8 months is like, it's kind of the people, right? It's like the team and the communities that's in them more than like anything. So if you just kind of look for that, you'll be pretty good.
Definitely. Shout out Crypto Dads. We had them on the show a couple times. That's a project, that we've followed along. Since the start, I own a dad. Happy to be part of that community. But yeah, I mean, Richard, this has been fun. We're looking forward to the Twitter Spaces tonight to get some more information, on the launch date and how to get on that whitelist. I know I'm excited to hear more about that. I really like what you're doing here. Again, as someone who's connected in the NFT community, and I also love fantasy sports, fantasy football, of course, number one. I do love hockey, so maybe I'm hoping you get some hockey experiences in the future. And I, of course, love that other football too, known here as soccer. So exciting things ahead for you. Anything else to share with viewers and listeners of maybe what's ahead for Spoiled Banana Society and how they can follow along?
Yeah, thank you so much, Chris, Mass, for having me. Super fun convo. Definitely one of my favorite interviews. What to look forward to happening. I think, just the launch. We're super excited for the launch. We're super excited to get this going. It's kind of been a lot of hype building up, but to like actually play, everybody get their cards, people actually winning prizes. Somebody's going to win a Bored Ape. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm hoping, it goes well so that we can, do more awesome things with the community, and I hope it stays like really just grounded in like dope people and awesome stuff, because what you were saying earlier, like bots come in, and as people get bigger, definitely can get diluted, but hopefully we're able to stay awesome and stay community driven. But yeah, thank you guys so much for having me, and we appreciate you guys so much. And that's dope, you got a Crypto Dad. I got two, also my brother and two moms. But yeah, hell yeah, guys.
Definitely. Well, Richard, shout out to you for joining us again. I know you are, live in Florida right now. You got a booth to run, you got people to meet, so we won't take up any more of your time, but we look forward to following along on the progress of Spoiled Banana Society and, hopefully following that mint and that news that you're dropping tonight. So, Richard, thanks again for taking time to join us on the roadmap today.
Thank you so much, guys. Hopefully you have a good day. Appreciate you so much.
You too. Thanks,
man. Thank you.
All right, guys. Hopefully everyone enjoyed that interview. I mean, Maz, live from Florida, right? Richard, a Bored Ape owner. I loved hearing, about how he got involved in NFTs, right? I mean, he minted Bored Apes a week after. I mean, that's pretty sweet to hear, right, Maz? I wish I could go back in time and get in on Bored Ape back then. But Maz, fantasy football meets NFTs. I'm looking forward to, hearing more details on the mint date and how this is going to go. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, that's always interesting, right? I've seen a couple of projects do something, where they're trying to bring the gamification of it. And, I'm excited for it, man. I think there's a market for it. So I'm curious to see. I would love to see like a March Madness too, and just, I mean, there's limited possibilities, right?
Yes, yes,
Like that can be a nice run. Like, you know,
love
people
that.
get into this, and I think it's a great way to introduce NFTs into to new people. And yeah, I'm excited to see how this goes, man. It's exciting times, a lot of innovation happening, and it's good to see projects come on, like you said, you know, that are launching, not just have launched like we've had before, and just seeing the thought process behind the scenes, and almost like just watching from the roots, you know. So we'll definitely follow up with Richard, and I can't wait to see the project, you know, launch and see how, you know, what happens from there, man. So exciting times.
Yeah, I mean, Maz, you got me excited, right? Talking about March Madness, college basketball. That could be a fun NFT project. I mean, I've seen a couple other projects try to tie to fantasy sports, and I'm really hoping that this one's successful, because I want to see more fantasy sports tied to NFTs, right? They're launching with football, but yeah, bring on those other sports. And you know, what an exciting way to, like you said, get possibly new people into NFTs, right? We saw that with Top Shot. We saw that now with NFL tickets, and we're going to see it with NFL Top Shot too, or whatever they're calling it now. You know, so that's exciting. You know, that we could be getting new people to the space via sports. So exciting times ahead. Matt, go ahead. Go ahead.
Real quick, shout out Mark here, who's been waiting 25 plus hours. Here, let's put up the comment here.
Yeah.
In the queue to buy the Matrix NFT. Chris, I know, were you in line for that too?
Yeah. Okay. Great point, Maz. And shout out Mark. Mark, first off, sorry. So here was my Matrix experience yesterday, and I shared this with Maz off stream. So I actually joined the queue for the Matrix NFTs before yesterday's stream. I believe it was 1 o'clock Eastern time was when the line started, right? And I wasn't even sure if I was going to buy it, right? Because there was 100,000 supply. You know, I didn't know how well it would go over. This was done on Nifties. So I was still in line after our stream ended yesterday at 3:15 Eastern time. And it said that there was like 8,000 people ahead of me. Well, I got done working, and by like, I don't know, 6:30 or 7 o'clock Eastern time, Maz, then it said I was up to buy. And I was like, oh, okay. So it says loading, and eventually it takes me to a new website. Oh, well, then it crashed. So then I tried to, you know, oh, can I like still stay in line? Like, what happened? Nope, it kicked me out and put me back to the start of the line, and I was like 150,000. Then I was like, well, so much for that. So I don't even know. I didn't even look at this yesterday, Mass, because I was a little upset that happened, and I kind of just forgot about it. But I don't even know if it minted out, what they're selling for. Yeah, I mean, so 100,000 of them. Remember, this is the one we talked about a couple weeks ago, where you could, you know, take the red pill or the blue pill to either, you know, keep yours as an office worker or put them in the Matrix. Nifty has done some other NFTs. I have a couple Space Jam ones that they did, you know, that I think I got for free around the time of the Space Jam 2 movie coming out. But is that the line right there still going? So, and the other thing was that I think you could buy up to 10. So like, if there's 100,000, if everyone's buying more than one, I mean, I just don't understand how the line's still going, though. Mark's saying they've only minted 54,000 out of 100,000. I mean, Maz, we talk about NFTs. We talk about, you know, success stories, failures. I worry when ones like this happen, because, again, Maz, we just said it with the sports ones, right? You're bringing new people to the space. So what happens if all these people that were new to NFTs did this mint yesterday, and this was their only experience they've ever had with NFTs? Do you think they stick around, or are they gone for good?
It kind of reminds me of shoes, man. You know, I used to be in the shoe game, you know, resell shoes. You'd wait in line, and, you know, you'd buy the shoes and you'd resell them. I think it's attracting that same, in a way, it might attract like the FOMO hype, right? You can't get in. It's like, you know, at a club, you can't get in. It makes you want to go in more. I can see that kind of happening with NFTs, and we see that all the time, right? People capitalize on FOMO.
Yeah.
So maybe people will be intrigued, but it's definitely not a good experience, right? So more Yeah, I can see that. There's room for improvement there. Absolutely.
I mean, Maz, what was that thing we said yesterday? I believe it was your words, right? When Coinbase. This is another example of a possible competitor to an OpenSea, right? Nifty having their own NFT marketplace and fumbling, right?
Exactly.
Like, that's why I feel like you said it, right? With OpenSea, they really feel like they're the leader, and they don't need to do all this stuff because there's no competition. So win Coinbase, let's get some competition, let's get some fun drops. I mean, this reminded me of the early days of Top Shot, of like getting in line and then seeing, that there was 100,000 people in front of you. You know you're not going to get it. But the fact that this has taken more than 24 hours now, on a 100,000 project, I just feel like that is a nightmare. But on the flip side, like you said, Mass, FOMO is rampant. So what will the prices be like on these Matrix NFTs for anyone who actually got through the line and anyone who is patient enough? I don't know if they're okay. So Mark's shouting us out in the chat. Mark, maybe you know that. I think there was a marketplace on Nifty's site, but I don't know if it's live yet. And I'm curious because that'd be a good question. So I'm trying to pull up the website now too. Oh, it just automatically put me in line. I'm in 343,000th place. But I want to see the resale, but I don't even know how to get to it. So that's a good question, Maz. And if I knew the answer, I'd let you know. But again, I feel like this is a logistical nightmare.
Yeah. So Chris, really quick, I want to talk about. So we've seen NFL. We saw Budweiser this week, and today we saw Reebok. So Reebok launched 300 free NFTs today through their Twitter. Dude, they went quick. You had to log onto the website. You had to claim it. Resale's going now for, I think, like 0.3 ETH last time I checked. So we're seeing this happen more and more often, right? Macy's last week, and, Disney and all these companies getting in there. So I think it's really interesting to see this dynamic happening, now where all these companies, right? I wouldn't be surprised if like Coca-Cola does one soon, or, McDonald's, right? McDonald's with the McRib, but I'm sure, they collab with somebody like a Travis Scott or something. They can do something crazy. So we're seeing these companies get in there. What are your thoughts on that, man?
Yeah, I didn't even hear the Reebok one. I mean, there's such huge brands joining. And the fact that Reebok did a free one is interesting, right? Because they probably could have, charged for this and could have made some money. So the Budweiser one was interesting, right? And again, limited supply. So you're a company with millions of followers launching, a limited supply NFT drop. And the question is, are these projects doing this, to test the waters? Right. So they don't want to launch a 10,000 project yet, or an even bigger one, because they want it to be, a successful sellout, get that FOMO going, right? Build that hype, because Reebok could turn around now and launch one, next week or next month. Right. And they've already got that first one out of the way where people, see the headlines, Reebok NFTs, sell out, Reebok NFTs double in price. Right. People see those headlines. They react to those headlines. So, yeah, and okay, so I didn't even put this in our news, but I wrote this article today, Maz. Did you see the Adidas stuff? We might have to pull up. So Adidas is partnering, but they haven't announced the official details, but with Bored Ape Yacht Club, Punk's Comic, and G Money. Right. So the four of them all, posted these random tweets. Right. And it showed, like a Bored Ape with a Adidas track jacket on. And, it also had the logos of those other projects. But we haven't gotten like the details. Right. What does this mean? Is this, anyone who owns a Bored Ape? Is this anyone who owns, one of those projects? How do you get this, this merch? Right. And then the other thing, I mean, Mads, because we talked about this, right? We saw NFL players, NBA players put Bored Apes on their shoes, but that's only their shoes. It's not like you can go buy those shoes. What happens here if Adidas, actually launches to the public Bored Ape merch or Punk's merch, right? How big is this going to be? or if they just do a new NFT, right? Where maybe they launch some virtual shoes like Reebok did, featuring Bored Ape logo or Bored Apes on it. What do you make out of this Adidas, sneak peek that we're getting with no official announcement?
Yeah. Well, first of all, shout out to all three brands. I think they're all really big brands in the NFT space, but more specifically, Punk's comic G Funk, man. When he came on, it was such a great episode, and he's such a humble guy. And he kind of alluded to them working behind the scenes with some big companies, and seeing it come to fruition is awesome. So shout out to them. I love the fact that the NFT space is getting this recognition. As far as what can we expect from Adidas, dude, I'm not sure because so I'm looking at the logo, right? You can't use any of the apes or the punks or that owns the NFT has the IP, correct? So how's that gonna work? Do they use as far as designs go, right? It just has to be a very basic design, or do they start buying these apes and maybe using them? I don't know. I do think they're gonna be very careful and not try to come out as culture, like just trying to milk the NFT culture and kind of just monetize right away. I think this is a longer term play and just building the audience. Because think about it this way, Chris. I own a Bored Ape, or I like Bored Apes. I see Adidas collab. Next time I'm at the mall or I'm on the internet, I'm gonna probably buy some Adidas stuff, right? So they're making money in that direction as well, not just trying to sell their NFTs or sell their merch with these companies. I think it's a longer term play. I would hope, at least, because if not, it's just gonna look like they're just trying to cash grab, and that would not be a good look. But I'm excited, man. I think it's huge to see this happening, and happening so fast, dude. When we started this show, like 2 months?
Yeah.
None of this had even been talked about yet. So it's great to see it, man.
Yeah, I mean, Maz, great point there that, maybe they are bringing some loyal fans to Adidas, right? I mean, it's a heavy competitive market, right, for clothing and footwear. And if they can, bridge the gap and bring NFT fans over to buy other stuff from them, that's successful marketing. And also, Maz, on the flip side, win Nike, right? Nike, again, they have these shoes that NBA and NFL players wear. These players are putting their own NFTs on them, but yet Nike is going after the metaverse via Roblox and doing Nike Land, but they've been pretty silent in NFT space right now. And Adidas, Maz, they also partnered with Coinbase, and they've been quiet on what that partnership means. They just said that they partnered with Coinbase. So with Coinbase launching that NFT, platform soon, maybe Adidas has something up their sleeve and actually is going to release some NFTs. So there's so much to talk about with just this topic alone. Let us know in the chat, guys. What do you think? Is Adidas only going to offer, merch for people who own these projects? Is this something that's going to be publicly available? Is this just going to be NFTs that they launch on Coinbase and they're just trying to build the hype up? I mean, again, no official announcement from Adidas, just these logos from these teams. So kind of quiet, but that leads to a lot of speculation and hype. So I'm excited about it, Maz, though. And I've been saying for a while, why isn't Nike? Why isn't Under Armour, right? Are both of them really going to get beat now by Adidas here when all along... and Reebok. I mean, here we were talking about, Nike and Under Armour, and we forgot, there's other brands out there. And here you go. Here's one attacking it head on. So I'm excited. And we got, shout out there. Machiavellian saying Beanie was teasing a Punks and Adidas exclusive merch drop. I assume the same will be done. Okay. So, Beanie likes to tease stuff, right? And release details possibly before they're supposed to be out. So I'm guessing that that's true, and that means an exclusive merch drop for Punks holders. So we'll see what happens. But a great topic, Maz, that we of course will follow up on when we have the details. I want to turn now to a project that Richard talked about, right? Crypto Dads, that we of course have had on the show. Maz, one of the things that they talked about on their roadmap was the lawn mower racing game, and we actually got our first look at the lawnmower racing game today. They have a trailer video out. They also announced some more details, right? So this is going to be built on Solana by Open Dive, which is a video game team. here's the video right there. So, I mean, just look at this, right? You got your dads riding around on their lawnmowers. I mean, that's pretty exciting. And they said, yeah, so this is going to launch on Solana. And in the future, it will be a play-to-earn game through the Solana platform. You're going to be able to connect your wallet, select your crypto dad. And as they said on our show, Maz, right, some dads with specific traits will have different benefits in the game, including speed boost, sharper mower blades, etc. So this is exciting. And the first 4 lawnmowers will be free for the community, and then they'll announce more details later on. What do you think of Crypto Dad's lawnmower racing game here? Is this about what you expected when they talked about it, or what?
You know, the thing that stands out to me the most is play to earn. I keep hearing projects now shift over to that.
Yep.
You know, it seems like that's the next trend of NFT projects, right? You have the profile pictures, they're adapting to make these games on a second layer, you know, and they're play to earn games. So I do think next year, probably first, second quarter, we see a big wave of these play to earn games. And I'm excited to play these games because they're fun, man. Now you're playing these games. See, I'm not a big video game guy. I do like FIFA, I like 2K, but when there's an incentive to earn,
Yes.
dude, I'll be playing all day, every day,
Yes,
right? So
yes.
that motivates me to be like, all right, let's play these games. Let's master these games. So I think it's gonna draw in a big crowd, and I'm excited to see them. The dads have built such a big community. So now let's play to earn, you know. And we had like crypto bulls, Wall Street bulls last week, right? Where they're gonna have like a casino where you can gamble your NFT, right? So again, gamification, play to earn. I think that's the next wave. We're kind of seeing that being built behind the scenes now. So good stuff, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris, I want to talk to
go ahead.
you. Yeah, I want to talk to you about a launch that happened this week. Clonex. Have you heard of Clonex, Chris?
I have. I've heard about it for a long time. I know that this was a very hyped project. And Maz, what happens when projects are too hyped and then the launches don't go as expected?
Yeah, so we've been hearing about Clonex for a while. You know, the whole sneakers, they have big artists behind them. They have, you know, Murakami has like he has one of the pieces in the that you can mint. You know, there's a lot of hype behind this project. And, you know, like you said, Chris, when there's hype, it better go to perfection or people are gonna FUD the project, or they're gonna just, you know, the expectations are so high that any little thing can cause, you know, slights, you know, misconception of the project. And now there's feedback with this project though, Chris, because the way they launched, it's 20,000 total pieces, right? And they had a pre-sale. A lot of people had already had their pre-sale. Started off at 4, was it 3 ETH or 4 ETH? I don't remember if it's 3 ETH or 4 ETH.
I think it was 4.
It was 4 ETH, right? Or no, was it 3? I think it was 3 ETH, 3 or 4 ETH, but still. That was the feedback, is that it was coming off as a cash grab and it was going to drain liquidity from the whole NFT market, right? Kind of like we saw with Mechaverse. You know, we know how that went down. So, you know, there's definitely I feel like people are split between this project. You know, do they like it? Do they not? Apparently, it has drawn a bigger audience outside of the NFT world, you know, like Paris Hilton. A lot of bigger names are minting these pieces to just hold, right? It's not a quick flip piece. It looks like it's more of a collector piece. Yeah, so it was 3 ETH, and then they canceled it, and they sold at 2 ETH next day, exactly. And they sold out fairly quick the next day, which was yesterday, at 2 ETH. And I think they're gonna airdrop 1,000 of them to people that minted at Dutch auction at 3 ETH. But it was this whole mess, you know. But the thing with FUD we see is that sometimes if it can be handled correctly, it usually just brings more publicity to the project. I do like this project. I think it's great. I think they're becoming like a well-known high-end brand in the NFT space. I don't necessarily agree with the Dutch auction. You know, I think that's kind of does look cash grabby. You know, I would rather have a regular, you know, just regular mint. They could have done like a 2 ETH mint like they did the next day. But yeah, I'm not a big fan of Dutch auction. Yeah, thoughts on this, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, Dutch auctions, I feel like we've really seen do well for like art blocks.
And that's it.
Outside of them, yeah. I mean, isn't that the end of the conversation, right? No one else has really done it well. And I mean, this project was so hyped. I mean, again, we've been hearing about it for months. We've seen the teaser images. I love the artwork, right? but I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to get into this. And it seems like they really were trying to avoid like a gas war by doing the Dutch auction. But I just feel like, again, it like you said, right? If you are a hyped project, your mint better be perfect. And it wasn't. And I think they'd own up and say that it didn't go perfectly. And now you have the questions, right?
Well, they
FUD.
didn't.
Yeah.
So that's a problem. The mod or the owners on the Discord start saying, like, oh, if this wasn't a problem, we would have sold out at 3 ETH right away. And that's when you start getting the people like, dude, just kind of accept, things went wrong.
Own it, right?
Own it. We love ownership of problems and taking.
I didn't know
saying,
that. Yeah, you gotta own it. And I mean, I think this project survives because it had, big hype, like you said, big names. But it does remind me a lot of Mecca. And I think the difference with Mecca, right, was Mecca didn't do a Dutch auction. Mecca did, a lotto system, right, where, a certain number of people got to mint. And then we saw, the mint sell for like 5 ETH pre-reveal. And then once they were revealed is when the price started dropping, right? So that wasn't a problem with the launch. That was then more of a problem with the artwork, right? And the traits not being, different from each other. So to me, that's the difference here, right? Was Mecca didn't necessarily fumble the launch. They fumbled the actual NFT and the artwork. And that's why that one, didn't necessarily do as well or hasn't done as well. This one, the artwork's still good. The NFTs are good, but they fumbled the launch. So I kind of think that this one sustains, but I mean, I hate seeing this, right? Because again, a big project that can bring new eyeballs to the space, create that excitement, that hype, and then you have this happen, which kind of is a letdown.
Yeah, the thing so good point there. Mechaverse had a great launch, right? There was no gas, 0.2 mints, great. I feel like these guys here, Mecca relied on, secondary sales to really make a lot of money, which they did. I feel like these guys, Artifact, first of all, they have a 10% royalty plus OpenSea's 2.5%. So you're getting charged a 12.5% royalty to sell this in the aftermarket. That is freaking huge, man. That is like unheard of. So that looks cash grabby again. So I personally, I'm not a fan of the way they rolled it out. This is a well-known brand on the NFT space. It will survive. Like you said, I can definitely see celebs buying this and, tweeting about it sometime in the future. However, though, are we in a 3D profile picture cycle right now? I don't think so either.
No.
We don't see Mechaverse profile pictures. I don't really see a lot of these myself as well. He has caught on yet as a profile picture. But again, this seems like more of a collectible looking down the line 1, 2, 3 years from now in the metaverse. This is a big play for sure.
Yeah, I mean, as soon as you said that word, Maz, that's the one I was going to use, right? This seems like a metaverse play. And metaverse is a growth item. You're seeing, Facebook, other companies, right, really attack that. So that's not to say that Clonex isn't going to be successful in the future. I just feel like you said, I mean, we're right now in a bull run on play to earn games, right? And we see this cycle change, right? You said it, PFPs, play to earn, right? Same thing happened with cryptos, right? Where people move from shit coins to, blue chip cryptos, quote unquote, and it cycles and keeps going over and over again. We see it with stocks, right? Penny stocks, blue chip names, high growth names, tech stocks. There's these cycles and these bull runs. And I feel like Clonex spent so long building this project that when they were building it, PFPs were hot. But by the time they actually launched it, they may have just been a little late. But we'll see, right? We'll see how Clonex goes. Maz, one that we talked about along with Bored Apes, right, is this MoonPay company, right? So MoonPay is the company that helped Jimmy Fallon buy a Bored Ape. He shouted them out, right, on his Tonight Show. We also saw MoonPay help Post Malone, Lil Baby. So Post Malone featured MoonPay in his music video. They also bought additional apes, which we actually talked about yesterday, Maz. I don't know if you saw this, but I know what I'm going to be doing after the stream airs. MoonPay actually launched a puzzle game. So they have, I think it's 6 total games. And if you are able to unlock and get the codes from all of those, The first person to do so wins a Bored Ape Yacht Club NFT. So MoonPay is giving away a Bored Ape via this virtual scavenger hunt and puzzle games. And they also have a huge present at Art Basel too. So I mean, there you see it there. Be the first to solve 6 puzzles to win an exclusive Bored Ape NFT valued at approximately 200,000. You can click on that link, register your email, and you can start on the games immediately. Maz, will you be participating in these puzzle games? And what do you think of MoonPay doing this project right now?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I'll be participating, but I definitely think that, you know, it's smart what they're doing. You know, they got in quick. They are the go-to. They're almost like the celebrity what do you call it, agent at this point, right? They're the ones
Yes.
giving it to
Middleman.
the
They're
yeah,
the
the
celeb
middleman.
middleman.
Yeah, that's the perfect. Yeah, they're buying them and then giving them to celebs, which it's making Bored Apes more exclusive. It's making these guys, you know, get free publicity, and it's making the celebs, you know, flex online. It's a win-win-win for all parties here, it looks like. You know, so I'm curious to see where MoonPay does take this. I've been hearing this name nonstop for the last couple of weeks, and you know, they're doing a good job. Yeah, you know, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I might try to do the first puzzle, Maz, see how long it takes me and if it's worth it. But ultimately, remember, like I said, this is the first person to complete this. So I have no idea. I mean, someone may have already completed this. So I don't want to waste my time, but I would love to get a free Bored Ape. But I like scavenger hunt idea here, but I just feel like, you know, if it's a matter of, you know, putting in the time, you know, is it going to be someone who, you know, has a team working on it, or they try to bot it, or is this, you know, bot proof? So maybe we'll hear more about that when we find out who won this competition. But I do think it's exciting.
Exactly. I mean, Chris, if there's so much money down the line, dude, I'm sure people are paying. I would pay someone $10,000, the smartest guy I know.
Yeah, go on Upwork, go on Fiverr, right? Just start hiring some people. I mean, I'm sure someone already did that, and
100%.
That's why I wonder, like how quickly is someone going to win this? You know, will they shut down the competition once someone has won it? Also, what do these puzzles involve? You know, do you have to know Bored Apes? Do you have to have knowledge of that? Do you just have to be fast? Do you have to be smart online? You know, so all kinds of questions out there. But like I said, I might try to do. All right, so here we are playing in the background the first puzzle. But yeah, I mean, that's a lot of spaces there. So, I mean, it also could be fun, right? I mean, maybe it's fun to do this and, you know, worth the time. But again, I'll at least try the first puzzle and see what we can come up with. But so anyone out there, you know, listening or watching, if you were able to win this competition, you know, Maz and I will take a small royalty fee, right, for sharing this project with you. But good luck to anyone partaking in this competition.
Exactly. No, yeah, it seems fun. I'm sure people are definitely going to try it and see how it goes. Chris, so let's talk, you know, since we're talking apes here, you know, more and more every day there's a new celeb, there's a new influencer with a new Bored Ape profile picture on Twitter, Instagram. So we saw Martin Garrix, who is a, you know, famous DJ. He has around 8.5 million followers. He has a Bored Ape now, and, you know, he made it publicly known. Omar Sy, he's an actor. And we actually have Diplo, who also posted about it.
Yep.
You know, and these guys, it looks like we're getting the DJs now, right?
Yeah, all the DJs getting
Yeah, so that's huge. Again, this is the flex now, man. You know, you have Bored Ape in the future. You're gonna be getting all. You know, you're gonna need to. I'm telling you guys, this is like the new flex, and it's happening faster than I thought. And that's what's crazy to me. It's like it seems like you know, a rollover effect. Of just 1, 2, 3 celebs getting this, and now you see it everywhere. Yeah, so that's a cool one. I actually like that one a lot. So yeah, man, it's exciting to see celebs get in on this. And it's funny though, Chris, because I see these influencers too, right? We have the celebs and then we have the influencers. So think about it. You're an influencer, you see Martin Garrix, he has a Bored Ape, you want a Bored Ape. Sometimes it's out of your price range. What do you buy after that, right? So it seems like a lot of these guys are lost in what to buy. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens when all these guys start buying these new projects too, right? How it's going to have a reaction. Does one celeb buy and does it lead the other guys to buy? And, you know, it's just crazy to see this reaction, see how the thing with NFTs is they're also psychological, right? There's a lot of psychological aspects to NFTs, buying and selling them. So I'm excited to see how that plays out in the social media world.
Yeah, I mean, great points, Maz. And you saw it there, Martin Garrix. So I had in my notes, he's got 8.5 million followers on Twitter, but that screenshot was Instagram, where he has over 15 million followers. So you combine those, I mean, a huge, huge reach. And then, Maz, you mentioned the other day, DJ Khaled, right? He bought an ape. So he changed his PFP on Instagram, but not yet Twitter. So he did put it out there on Instagram. And again, he has millions of followers on each of those platforms. There's Omar Sy right there, an actor. Maz, I mean, I think this just goes to strengthen the Bored Ape community too, because remember when they had their party this year? One of the things that they did was they had a concert, right? Where you had to own an ape to get in. And then you got to hear, you know, these bands perform, right? You also got to hear these stand-up comedians play. So now that all these DJs own an ape, don't you just naturally think that, hey, maybe these DJs end up doing an exclusive concert for apes next year? I mean, isn't that kind of logical to think that they would want to connect with the ape community, or am I out of line here?
No, I think next year is going to be absolutely insanity of, you know, top influential people joining the ape festival. Same thing with NFTs. You know, festivals, they're going to just get more and more, you know, popular, especially the Bored Apes leading the way. You know, that just reminded me, Chris, I wonder who the first influencer / celeb is going to be to get caught posting their profile picture as an ape that's not theirs. You know, maybe they don't realize it's on the blockchain you can verify. I'm sure someone will do it, and they'll try to flex it, and it's not going to be theirs, and they're going to get called out for it. And I can't wait to see that, because that's what blockchain is for, right?
I love that, Maz. You know what? I'm actually surprised that hasn't happened yet.
It's gonna happen
in the celebrity world. I mean, we see it with other people, right? You know, people on Twitter, or when they're trying to do the giveaways, right? Like, win my Bored Ape. You know, which again, if it's Bored Ape tweeting that, right, win this Bored Ape, it's a little bit more legit than, you know, just a random person on Twitter saying, you know, like my post and retweet, and I'm going to give away my Bored Ape. Again, Bored Apes aren't cheap. I don't think people are just giving these away to gain Twitter followers, or at least I know I would not be doing that. Yeah. But I mean, I'll say it again. I mean, Bored Apes, I feel like they pass punks, and you know, the argument I think just gets strengthened each day, right? When you're seeing these big names, you know, quote unquote ape in, right? This floor price has stayed pretty consistent this week around the 48 to 50 ETH range. Remember, this was down below 40 a couple weeks ago when we talked about it, and we were saying, hey, some of these blue chip projects are going to come back and they're going to get a run again. And I mean, Maz, I think we called that out before it happened. And obviously these big celebrities getting in, you know, was part of that. But again, I just think you're seeing the strength in the community. I mean, now Adidas partnership, I just feel like, you know, that there's more upside here. Again, not financial advice, but just what I think and I'm seeing. What do you think of apes? I mean, will they pass punks? And, you know, how quickly are we actually thinking that?
I mean, someone said it best, man. You know, if you got a CryptoPunk, you probably made a lot of, own a lot of valuable pieces, and, you know, you're just laying low. It seems like, you know, Bored Apes, this year, you know, they have a cultural significance where it's like, you know, they bring the community that punks don't bring. But I still think punks, you know, they're kind of in their own lane. But I do think as far as monetary value, Bored Apes are definitely going to pass them. It just seems that way, you know. You don't see that many. I mean, you see, yeah, Jay-Z, OBJ, they have punks as their profile pictures. I think that's like a, you know, if Bored Apes are Ferraris, Lamborghinis, I think punks are Bugattis, in my opinion, you know.
There we go. Clip that out right there. I mean, that's spot on. And again, I mean, the PFP test, right, Maz? I think you called it. We're seeing less people with punks as their PFP, even these celebrities, these big investors, and they're switching to apes. And we're seeing big athletes, big celebrities, and big investors. I mean, again, we saw Visa buy a CryptoPunk, right? Bored Ape, we haven't seen as big of the companies really aping in, right? We're seeing, you know, CEOs get involved, investors, but who's going to be, you know, some of the first companies to really buy those apes? And also, Maz, the auction. I keep going back to that auction.
Yeah.
Someone bought 101 Bored Apes, and we still don't know who it was and what they're going to do with them. I mean, what happens when we get that news? Because that's a big event too.
That's going to be huge, man. I think, again, I think they got a great deal on them, by the way.
Yes.
So yeah, that's exciting news to see that. Again, I think, we're just barely getting started with all this stuff. And yeah, we'll see what happens.
All right, Maz. Well, it looks like we're out of time. Again, another great show, a great interview. Spoiled Banana Society. Definitely check out that Twitter Spaces tonight, where you get to hear about how you can get on the whitelist and when that mint will be happening. Again, fantasy sports meets NFTs, two great communities combining. So I'm excited for that. Maz, we had Sappy Seals yesterday. We had Spoiled Banana Society today. And we are back tomorrow, the roadmap, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Who do we have joining us on the stream tomorrow?
Yeah, tomorrow's episode I'm excited for. We have Cryptoon Goons joining us today. And they have launched their project 2 weeks ago, but they've taken right out of the gate, man. Gary Vee, FaZe Banks, big influencers. You know, their art looks great. Very old school Mickey Mouse / hip hop, Bronx style. I've caught a couple other spaces. Great team. And actually one of the team members, one of the devs is a member in our Discord community, Chris, that we've been in for a while. And it's great to see them launch such a successful project. So shout out to these guys, Cryptoon Goons tomorrow. Make sure to hit us up on Twitter. And yeah, Chris, it should be fun.
Yeah, I'm excited for that interview. This is a project, like Matt said, it launched recently. It's been pretty successful. Floor price 0.269 there. So it is still, a potential one where people could still, get in if they like the art, like the project, like the roadmap. It's not completely, out of reach for the everyday NFT investor or collector. So I like that. We're going to talk to them tomorrow, right, about, how the project went and also what is ahead, right? We like trying to get that alpha, find out about the roadmap, the dates that everyone should be looking forward to. So we are excited. And if you're excited for that interview and excited to hear more about NFTs, make sure you smash the like on this video, whether you're watching live or watching this on replay after it aired. Smash that like, subscribe to Benzinga's YouTube channel. We want to keep these NFT shows going. We got to get some love from the loyal fans out there, so let us know in the chat and leave a comment after this airs about what your favorite part of today's episode was. And we'll be back tomorrow.
Yes. See you guys tomorrow.